Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. It is, what is today? It's almost the 12th of October. And I don't know how your weather has been, but ours has been pretty cool for Georgia weather in October. Just like September and even August were very cool for us. But I wanted to tell you, as we're moving into the flu and cold season, this is a great time to go out and forage for something that you can make teas with, or a tincture, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But you have to go find it first. So let me show you what we're looking for today. We are going, I'm actually on my property. This year, because we cleared the trees last fall, we had this come up on our own property, and I was so excited because I know none of this has been treated with any kind of pesticides or anything like that. I am excited that I found this on the property. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to show you what you should go this time of year and start foraging. If you want to make, like I said, you can make teas out of this. You don't need a dehydrator. You can hang this up to dry, and you can also do tinctures where you're just going to take the flowers of this plant and at least 80 proof alcohol. I'm going to use vodka when I do mine because I have some left over from my vanilla making. And let me show you what it is. This is the beautiful goldenrod. This is not ragweed. This is goldenrod. You want to make sure that it's goldenrod. And but these flowers have so many medicinal purposes. And you also want to be careful because, as you can you see all the bees? There's not a lot of things. I've got little bees over there for them to forage for, as you know, the cooler weather's coming in, and they're holding on. So I'm going to take a little. I'm not going to take it all. I think this little fella right there, I think that one might be, no, he's moving. I thought it might be dead. It's just not moving near as fast, and neither are those. But I do see some movement. So I'm going to snip. I brought my snips out. And the flowers are really what you're after. And so if you notice on this plant, so you've got the long green leaves, and it comes way up, and at the top is where it flowers. And so that's what I want. I'm interested in the top. Let me grab this. And I kept some of the stems, so if I want to hang these, I can hang them, or if I want to put them in the dehydrator, I can. Some of them I want fresh for the tincture. Hey, the little bee, one of the bees moved off. So let me put my basket down. Let's get another one. I'm going to go over here. And here, there's no bees on this one. There's bees on these, so I'm not going to get these. Put these in my basket. This is free. It's free. I will say, if you find it on the side of the road, make sure that you know whether or not, like if it's been sprayed or something. Hi guys, Brandy here. We are in the kitchen. This is Sowing back, and we started outside this morning, and we went and we harvested some beautiful goldenrod I did it off of my property. You can find this just about anywhere you look this time of year in the southeast, I know for sure. We are in mid-October, and it's just glorious this time of year. This has lots of wonderful benefits for your health, And there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. I have a couple things in mind that I want to do with it. First of all, I do want to say that what I have read in my research is that if you are pregnant or nursing, you do not want to consume goldenrod. It's not safe for you or your baby, and so if that is you, then this may not be the year for this for you. But other than that, it has a lot of great purposes that it's been used for. It was used by the Cherokee they saw it as a restorative to health, and so some of the benefits that are known, and especially in some European countries, they use this for kidney health. So if you have problems with kidney stones or bladder or kidney infections, that this is a good one. A lot of times I think that if you get some medicinal teas, you're going to find that it has goldenrod in it because of the principles it has in it. It's also supposed to be very good if you wanted to make it into a tincture, which is one of the things I'm wanting to do with mine for cold and flu season. It is supposed to have some great benefits for your bronchial tubes to help open you up. It's supposed to have an expectorant to it. I did read this is not something to take at night because they believe that it has a stimulant to it. It also will have a stimulant for if you use it internally for your digestive system. So you might want to be mindful of that if you're using it and, you know, got a big important day, maybe not do that same day, especially if you haven't used it before. The other thing that really interests me is I'm wanting to infuse it in oil. You can cook with it, but that's not why. I'm more interested in taking the oil for soaps and salves because this is supposed to have a great medicinal help for inflammation, sore muscles, and muscle spasms and things like that. And I get all of those, and so I am very much interested in infusing this in some olive oil so that I can either use the olive oil, or I can use the olive oil to make a soap, or I can use the olive oil that's infused with the goldenrod to make a salve. And so a salve is going to have that beeswax, so it kind of has that I guess it's kind of like a lip balmy, kind of in between like a lip balmy, Vaseline-y, kind of that kind of feel to it. And you can take that and you can rub that on your muscles where they're sore, and it's supposed to be really helpful. A lot of people like to use goldenrod with other arthritic supplements because it has been shown to help, like I said, with inflammation. So the main ways that I am wanting to preserve my harvest of goldenrod is I am wanting to make a tincture. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I am wanting to dry the rest so that I can do an infused oil, and also that I can use it in teas. It's supposed to be delicious to add the goldenrod with your favorite mint. Like I have a lot of lemon balm, which is just a mint. But if you have peppermint, any of those kind of mints that you may have still growing in your garden, if you dry those out, then you can use those throughout the winter months to make teas. So that is kind of what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to dry some, and I'm wanting to infuse some as a tincture. Not infuse, but I guess it's an infusion, but it's to make the tincture. A tincture is you're going to use 80 proof alcohol, which I have leftover vodka from making my vanilla, and so I thought this would be a good use of that. And I actually read a lot of people will use the flowers with either elderberry flower or the elderberry actual berries, and they will make that into a tea or syrup. And I also saw you could do that as a tincture. I'm not gonna mix my elderberry with my goldenrod. I'm gonna kind of keep them separate because I can always take a little of each. And if they're dry and I'm doing a tea, then I can totally put this with some elderberries if I want. I wondered too if I took the goldenrod dried, I took some lemon balm and some of the dried elderberries and did a tea, how that would be. Again though, just remember this is probably not a nighttime tea since it does have a stimulant property to it. Again, I am not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. Not any of those things. I am just studying and learning how to use things. I think there's so many beneficial properties to plants, and we are very illiterate in how you can use those. And I really feel like if we would study and learn and try some of these simple things that we can find pretty readily, you know, out our back doors, that maybe we would not need so many pharmaceutical medications. I am not poo-pooing pharmaceutical medications. I think that they are a glorious thing that I am thankful we have. They save a lot of lives, but oftentimes they can make things worse. So, or they have side effects and things like that. So I think that if we can find for maybe more common things, more natural things, then that's probably better for us. It's probably better for our overall health, better for our gut health, because one of the things we do know about pharmaceutical medications is it strips our gut health. And matter of fact, there's just more and more that they're learning about that, and there's much to still be learned. Okay, so if you are on prescription medications, if you have high blood pressure and you take those kinds of medications, again, you may want to talk to your doctor before you add something like this, because this does have diuretic properties. So that may not be a good thing for you to mix. If you don't, and you're relatively healthy and you're interested in trying something more natural, then I say give it a try. I think these are some simple ways that you can incorporate this. I think making the salve, which all I'll be able to do today is to dry it. I won't be able to make the salve today, or the oil, because I'm going to dry it to do that. But I am going to make the tincture today, and I'm going to show you how I plan to dry mine. I do have a food dehydrator, and I'm going to, you can actually, if the leaves are healthy, you can see these. They're not diseased. Let me see if I can get one. These are pretty young. Oops. So these look healthy and pretty. You can include these in the tea. So you could totally take them and you could tie them if you like. I have part of my hair strand in there. And you could dry them like this if you want. I actually saw it was recommended to air dry them slowly on a paper towel. So I'm going to put them on parchment, and I'm going to allow them to dry. I don't know that I'm going to turn my dehydrator on, but I'm thinking about just keeping it in there and closing it up, just so that my dogs don't try to eat them. I will tell you that these, they smell so good, and you'll notice on when we went out and I snipped these, how many bees were enjoying them. And matter of fact, I didn't snip any that had the bees on them. I left those out there for the bees because there's not a whole lot this late in the season for those pollinators, and I want my home to be a pollinator friendly environment. We do not spray anything on our property, and so that come spring they will, those volunteer pollinators will come back. And so that's why I could have harvested a lot more than what I did, but I think this is good. This is a great place to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flowers off and put them on parchment. Three trays, and the trays have the good leaves and the goldenrod, and so I'm going to set these over here, and we're going to finish our, in the shot, sorry, and I'm going to fill it up with my 80 proof vodka, and I'm going to be using one of these plastic lids. You don't really want to use like a canning lid with a band. You could use maybe cheesecloth and then a band, but because it can rust, so it's better to use something like this. And so I'm going to cover this up. Okay, and I left, it looks like about ½ inch of head space. And, ooh, I can smell that. Mama, that'll wake your your sinuses up. So I'm just going to make sure to kind of get all this pushed down, and essentially, because of you've got the alcohol, you just close it up, and you want to put it in a nice dark place for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you strain it. Okay, so when you get done, all the stuff that's in here is going to be it's going to be strained. So I'm going to put this in my upstairs pantry closet. Actually, I'll probably put it in the basement because it's cool down there, and I'll put it where I have my vanilla. But that's all there is to a tincture. And I am going to put the date on it. They say that that's important, the day you start it. And so this is Goldenrod, and it is 10/11/22. And so by the end of November, this should be good to go to strain, and then I can use it for colds and flus in conjunction with my elderberry, and or if we get like bronchitis. That was one of the ones I had read. It's supposed to be very helpful for us. So anyway, again, like I said, if you are on prescription medications, check with your doctor. So as I was saying, I'd love to know, you know, what your experience was using Goldenrod. Did it help you? Did you think it was a nothing burger? One of the herbalists that I read on her blog, I thought it was interesting because she was talking about, you have to realize that herbal medications or holistic medications, much like prescription medications, what may work for one person may not work for another. And it's just that you know that they have these properties that they might work that you could try. And so I thought, well, that's pretty balanced, you know, there's no one way when it comes to a lot of things. It is trial and error, and if something works for you and helps you, then that's great, you know. And so, but it may not work for you. So anyway, if you found value in this, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, or if you would subscribe to our channel and share our video. That helps us a lot. One of my next videos, I'm fixing to make my elderberry syrup, and I'm going to make an elderberry tincture. I believe I'll have just enough vodka left to do an elderberry tincture, because I want to do both. I know that the tincture is supposed to be stronger, and so my thinking is with the elderberry syrup, I'm thinking that that would be more of a everyday kind of preventative, like have a shot in the morning, and that the tincture would be more like when you're actively sick. So we'll see. You'll have to stay tuned for that. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.